Biscuits are for sharing. It was a glorious Sunday afternoon, and Tom and Tina were bored. Great Aunt Sylvia was due to arrive, and their mother was busy cleaning the house. Tom and Tina were twins, and they were 4 years old, and they had been told to go outside into the garden to play. They hated it when grown-up visitors came for tea and they had to get all dressed up in their best clothes. Laid out on the dining room table was a wonderful chocolate cake. But they knew the best thing of all were the special biscuits in the new round biscuit barrel. Each biscuit was homemade and iced in different coloured icing, and they were all different shapes and sizes. Their mother was a famous baker, and she owned a cafe in town. There was always a surprise to be found each time they opened this very special tin. "Let's have a biscuit now. Mummy will never know, because they're hidden inside the tin," said Tom to his sister. "Oh, yes, but only if I can have the yellow one," Tina replied, as Tom pulled the biscuit barrel off the table. The top was always a little tricky to pull off, but after a while Tom managed to do it. He looked inside and pulled out a beautiful yellow star biscuit. "I want that one, Tom. You promised that I could have the yellow icing." "No, I didn't. And I want the yellow star," Tom argued. "Look, you can have a green football biscuit," said Tina, showing him the most amazing green football. But Tom was not going to back down. "You can have the pink teddy bear biscuit," he continued. The argument carried on for some time, until Tom grabbed the yellow star and stuffed it in his mouth. "It's not fair, I'm telling Mummy," cried Tina, running towards the back door. Suddenly she heard the front doorbell ring and realised they would be in trouble. So she turned round and grabbed a red ladybird biscuit and bit into it rather guiltily. Tom was sitting under the apple tree with a very funny expression on his face. "He has gone all pale and peculiar," thought Tina to herself, as she munched her scrumptious red ladybird. She sat herself down next to Tom and looked out towards the swing. The swing had started to move all by itself, or so Tina thought, until she blinked and looked again. The most amazing sight met her eyes. She saw a figure full of light sitting on the swing. It looked exactly like the yellow star biscuit that Tom had eaten. She rubbed her eyes again and then saw a large red ladybird pushing the star on the swing. Both children were paralysed with shock as they watched the star and the ladybird laugh and have fun together. After a while, the star jumped off the swing and the ladybird jumped on. They kept taking it in turns, and the whole area was covered in a soft golden glow. After a while, the star got up and walked across to the children, followed closely by the ladybird. "Hello, Tom and Tina. How lovely to see you both," said the star, holding out his hand to shake. The two children were so surprised that they just sat there with their mouths wide open. "Oh dear, it looks as if you've been eating Mummy's special biscuits again," said the red ladybird, looking at their telltale yellow and red tongues. "What a shame that Aunt Sylvia will not be able to have her special birthday biscuit, the beautiful yellow star which holds such significance for her." The yellow star began to explain that when their great Aunt Sylvia was a little girl, her father had promised her that when he came back from the war, that he would take her to her favourite special shop in London to buy a yellow star biscuit. Unfortunately, Aunt Sylvia's father had died in the war, and the special shop in London had been bombed. Aunt Sylvia had been very unhappy and cried herself to sleep for a very long time. Nobody knew about this, not even their mummy, but the star knew, and he had planned a wonderful treat for her, a treat that would bring healing to great Aunt Sylvia's heart. Great big tears began to fall down Tina's face, and even Tom's eyes were a little bit red and watery. "Oh dear," said Tom, "I am so very sorry that I took that biscuit without asking Mummy, and I am so sorry for not sharing it with Tina." "Me too," cried his sister miserably. The star winked at the ladybird, and the ladybird went around the corner and then returned with a white box. She handed the box to the two surprised children and told them to open the lid. Nestled inside were two beautiful biscuits, a yellow star and a red ladybird. The yellow star was beaming at them and was lighting up the garden in a wonderful soft glow. Biscuits are for sharing, and because you are both so sorry for what you have done, we are going to let you have another chance to do the right and kind thing. "Tom, Tina, tea is ready," shouted Mummy from the house, and the two children went running in, but not before thanking their two new friends for all their help.